morning, Sunrisers. I'm Dr. Janzen, and today I have with me our kennel tech here, Hannah. And this sweet girl is Freya. Freya is a 7-year-old Neapolitan Mastiff, and Freya presented to us on emergency a couple of weeks ago. Her mom noticed that she had this nasty, kind of foul-smelling discharge coming from her back end, and we noticed that Freya was not spayed yet. So that immediately sends some alarm bells going that Freya may be possibly experiencing what we call a pyometra, which is essentially a pus-filled or an infection-filled uterus. And that's actually, it's a life-threatening emergency if that happens. So her mom brought her right in. She came, we ran some blood work, we took some x-rays, and we knew immediately that that was in fact what Freya was experiencing. So we rushed her right into surgery that day afternoon. Her uterus weighed, I think, about 4.6 pounds full of infection. She stayed in hospital with us for a couple of days after that. It's a large amount of infection, and it does kind of take a good toll on their body. But she was able to go home a couple of days later. Her mom was actually just telling us that she was out running in the backyard, which she hasn't seen her do in quite some time. So she's feeling much, much better after this. Pyometra is something that we will see in older dogs that are still intact, which means that they have not been spayed. The lingering hormones that they get with each heat cycle actually predisposes them more and more and more to this infection happening. And what essentially happens is if that infection gets in your uterus and it continues to kind of get bigger and bigger and bigger, eventually the uterus itself can actually pop inside of the belly, and that becomes like a critical situation immediately. So anytime that we see these pets come in that have discharge coming from their vulva or an odd smell, especially an older female that still has her uterus, we're very, very concerned about this pyometra. Other things we worry about in these females can be extra predisposition to cancer and different aspects like that. So it's so important to make sure that your pets are getting spayed and neutered at an earlier age. So if you're curious about your pet's age and whether or not they've been spayed, or you have a female that is still intact and you want to get her spayed, give us a call. I promise your pets will thank you.
WCBI Animal Health with Dr. Emerson was brought to you by Emerson Animal Hospital in West Point.